Iron Man's Bleeding Edge armor. Tony Stark's Bleeding Edge armor wasn't just another Iron Man suit. It was Revolution, built as the successor to the Extremis armor. This suit was composed of millions of nano machines stored inside Tony's own body. Right? It could fully form around him in microseconds, morphing into whatever weapon or function he needs it for. This armor ditched traditional motors for artificial muscle fibers, giving it insane strength, speed, and rapid self-repair. Powered by revolutionary node and covered with miniature repulsors that granted Tony a 360-degree view. The Bleeding Edge became one of his deadliest creations. So during its run, Tony went toe-to-toe with gods, monsters, and cosmic threats. The Bleeding Edge armor's notable feats include: he has been able to exchange blows with Thor, especially because they thought each other had gone rogue. So they were really at each other's throats. Thor is always holding back, and that is just a fact. But the fact he's able to tank blows from Thor while on Earth is really still impressive. You know, Thor is this character used to display extreme strength and power in characters. So usually when characters get like fucking multiversal arms that can take out a high construct, they throw Thor in there to compare power, or to they literally put him in there to one-shot you. So Thor is really who he thinks he is, you know, and his suit being able to keep up with that is impressive. Lifting Red Hulk high into the air and just smacking this dude into the ground is impressive. To do that to any of the Hulks, honestly speaking, especially either it's Red or Green Hulk, you know that this is serious business. Escaping a net of symbiote web mid-battle. So the symbiotes are really powerful. They're able to create a planet called Clintar and hold Null, the god of the void, and the symbiote. So that is in itself impressive, and usually the symbiotes on Earth are the strongest we've seen. So any of them being able to go hand-in-hand combat and hold Tony down, and Tony is able to escape, is a great feat on its own. Surviving Magneto dropping a 170-ton building on him, then digging himself out like nothing happened. You know, when you realize that it's actually worse when you consider acceleration due to gravity, but compared to other things he has tanked, this is nothing apparently. Drawing blood from Sentry, one of Marvel's strongest beings, to be honest. The Sentry is really strong, being able to damage him in itself, even in his unstable form, is really impressive, because unstable Sentry is just Sentry who cannot really control his powers. And he's still indestructible, he still has his reality warping powers and all that. And him also being able to tank multiple hits from Sentry back is impressive. That armor did not just destroy. And the armor actually heals itself, and it can create basically any weapon, be it sentient or not. It's really impressive. Lifting the Thing and one of his own massive suit all the way into space, something even the Thing struggled with, just to show you how serious Tony takes his craft. And even his other suits are still a threat, and we'll get to something similar very soon. So, and he also caught that same falling suit at terminal velocity of about 200 km/h, and that is like the bare minimum you'll consider, considering the size and, you know, the mass due to gravity as well. So there are a lot of things that goes into that, the basic physics. Taking multiple blows from Sentry, you know, withstanding his own Hulkbuster attacks, which had already put down Captain America, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, and especially She-Hulk. That is the most impressive one there. So he's able to contend with that and put it down, or at least contend with it without even going all out. Generating over 200 tons of lifting power, tanking nukes, surviving in space, creating force field, absorbing and amplifying energy, and morphing into any weapon imaginable. That is crazy hacks, you know. And him also blitzing a Phoenix Force empowered Cyclops, you know, you could argue it's not that impressive, but it's still impressive nonetheless. Knocking around a cosmically empowered Taurus who had already taken down Thor. Very impressive again. Now, using psychic dampener strong enough to block Professor Xavier, right? That is insane. Like, Professor X's telepathy is linked to the collective unconscious, which he can link to all minds in the multiverse beyond autoversal and high autoversal constructs, which is the embodiment of eternity itself. And that's why Xavier is so powerful. He could give birth to a child like Legion. It's not out of thin air. The only thing is that Xavier's powers are not like physical or like speed blitzing shit, but he can give you the worst kind of Tsukuyomi or Kosoe Matsukami or whatever type of illusion, and he can trap your mind in the mind of a higher construct of multiverses. Don't play. Now, him absorbing New York City's entire power grid to blast Mangog, temporarily taking down one of Thor's strongest villains, someone or something even stronger than Odin. Come on, man, I will link my Mangog video down below. You have to watch. Mangog is something else. I can comfortably put Doomsday, Martian Manhunter, Superman, and many of the heavy hitters, and they would all lose. I mean, Mangog was able to take on Thor, Odin, Jane Foster, though they were all weakened, but each of those are still easily extraversal destroying threats. And Mangog just like bodies them. They had to chain him in the sun inside the Demiurge, who has boundless powers of beyond creation as an elder god. and he still was able to fuse with Mjolnir to fight Thor. That's why it's crazy how strong current Thor actually is. But that is discussion for another day. So we can get to where this is the strongest feat here, I think. And also he's able to hack high evolutionaries technology. That is as good as being able to be almost as smart as Reed Richards. Let's just put that into perspective, which Tony is on a normal day. So just shows you how impressive he is, and people want to put Cyborg against him. What he would do to Cyborg, we would never, like, if Cyborg was like taking steps towards him, Tony would probably just hack into everything in the mother box and just send the whole planet into apocalypse. But yeah, Tony is really impressive in this state. So simply put, Bleeding Edge wasn't just an armor, it was Tony at his most dangerous, with technology that blurred the line between and God. Now, onto Blue Beetle, the Scarab. On the other side, we have Jaime Reyes bonded with the alien Scarab, Kejida. Unlike Tony's armor, the Scarab is a living piece of technology designed for intergalactic war. It gives Jaime incredible versatility, but at the cost of experience and control. Some of his best feats are, as a rookie, Jaime held his own against Green Lantern Guy Gardner with his shield blocking Lantern's constructs for a time. Now, Guy was actually kind of serious, and that's the thing. Now, I do not know if he held back at all, but he literally chased this dude across the galaxy and meant business. I think he left him alone when he realized that this was just kid. So being able to, block his attacks and actually cracking Guy Gardner's own shield, who was actually almost blood lost, or let me not say blood lost, yeah, at least he was very serious. He took the matter quite seriously, and he was not necessarily holding back. He doesn't even necessarily hold back. That dude is cocky as hell. So he survived a hit from Lobo as well. He got knocked down, but managed to get back right into the fight. And Lobo is also another cocky person. He doesn't really care. He would kill you, not holding back. So, but I do not know if he held back or not. But being able to take such from Lobo is also quite a durability feat, which just shows that the Scarab in itself is quite really powerful if it's that durable. But Jaime just lacks the experience to wield it. Now, he's outsmarted a group of killer robots by reprogramming their targeting systems, making them destroy each other, which is also very impressive. Being able to hack into high-end technology just shows the superiority of the Scarab. While temporarily corrupted, he created a planet-busting weapon and even outraised a nuclear weapon. The speed part is not impressive, honestly, but being able to just casually create a planet-busting weapon speaks for itself. So he's also survived being shot in the head after Max Lord built a weapon that damaged the Scarab. The alien tech killed Jaime from near death. So being able to also have really high tech influence to be able to nearly bring someone back from the dead, if not, it's also very impressive. So basically it gives the boy kind of partial immortality. And that's just basically it. So while the Scarab is powerful, clearly most of Jaime's notable feats comes from him surviving fights rather than dominating them. So his inexperience often holds him back compared to veterans like Tony Stark. So if we were to just go off the Scarab alone, by the end of the day, this isn't really a fair matchup. Jaime Reyes has raw potential, but his Scarab isn't limitless, and he doesn't have the battle experience or creative mastery to fully exploit it. Tony Stark's Bleeding Edge armor, meanwhile, is one of the most versatile and most powerful suits in all of fiction, literally. So with the ability to morph into any weapon, regenerate from damage, tank god tier hits, and even manipulate energy on a massive scale, Iron Man simply outclasses Blue Beetle in every category. Be it he's experienced or not, the both of them lose. So the winner is Bleeding Edge Iron Man. Note that this is a requested video. If you want your own video, please do to reach out to me for that. And yeah, please do to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Peace.